To start off, my name's Denise and I work for a company called moo.com. Moo makes little cards from your online material, your printed stuff. We're just about to launch a new product today, which is rather fortunate, but that's not really why I'm here. So I'm going to talk about designing a web application with character, but why do you want to give your application character? Because I'm sure it rocks already. I'm sure that you've had your feedback from your usability people and all that kind of stuff, and it works really, really well. People understand the process. Small children can use it blindfolded. It's absolutely amazing. But it's not necessarily any fun. Applications at the end of the day are basically just processes. Nobody ever gets particularly passionate about a process. So it's quite interesting to give it a bit of character. Things like Flickr, for example. There's a lot of photo sharing sites out there. People like them, they're all fine, but people actually love Flickr. I've heard people talk about it really passionately. And they like it not just because it's usable and it all works and all that kind of stuff. They like it because it's nice to them. It has a character and it has a personality. I like it because it says hello to me in a different language every time I go there. I think that's quite nice. I like it when I delete something and it gradually fades away. It doesn't just disappear or refresh the page or anything like that. It just goes away nicely. All of those things add character to your application, so that's what we're talking about. So, who are you? Who is your character? You've got an application, it fulfills a need, it solves some kind of problem, but actually, who is it, and what is it, and where's your character going to come from? Well, think about what it is you want your application to do. How do you want people to feel when they're using it? Do you want them to feel clever, or like you're there talking to a friend? Is it a social network? Are they hanging out with you? Or are they actually just there to find their stocks and shares figures and that kind of stuff? All of that kind of thing can help you develop your character. Just because it's Web 2.0 doesn't mean it has to be really cute and everybody's best friend. It doesn't have to be like that. Your character might be something completely different, but just work out what you want people to use your application for and build your character from there. Think about the kind of language that you want to use when you talk to people. Probably not go to swear at them. I don't know, it might be a different kind of application. Perhaps all you want to do is swear at them. But essentially, think about how you talk to people. This includes everything, not just the big headings and stuff like that. It includes little error messages, and as Ryan was saying, you know, maybe you've done something wrong. How are you going to talk to people? Maybe you're telling people they've just made some changes to their account. How are you going to give them that confirmation? Perhaps they're in a hurry, they just need a tick. That's all they need to know. Perhaps they actually need a bit of extra confirmation, so maybe they need the word saved. Or maybe your character is a really good friend of theirs, and it's really nice to go, yay, your changes have been saved. Maybe that's the character of your application, and it makes a big difference to the way people feel about you. So once you know what it is that you're saying to people, think about the way that you say it. If a picture paints 1,000 words, then your typeface says a lot about you before you've even actually started reading the copy. It is, of course, lovely to see you. I'm really pleased you're all here, but it's really scary up here, and I'm quite frightened. You can probably tell that before you've even read the text. It's kind of scary text. It says a lot about you. So if your application is a sensible kind of advisor type, don't go for massive typography and huge, huge letters that are going to make them feel patronized. Go for something smart, sensible, quick, and efficient. Or if you're somebody's best friend, then maybe use chunky fonts and be a bit more Web 2.0 about it. But think about the way that you're talking and make sure that it's all in character. Moo cards, I don't know if any of you have made them or not, but it's quite a complicated process. You can log into a partner site, you can choose your photos, you can look at them by tags or sets, and you can add colors, and you can put text on there and metadata and all that kind of stuff. It's actually really complicated, or is it? It's not really that complicated. Essentially, you just choose your photos, you crop them, you personalize them, and then you purchase them. That's all. It's quite simple. If your application, no matter how simple you think your application is, it's probably quite complicated to somebody that's never seen it before. So if you can break it down into small, manageable chunks, it really helps. And if you can explain it with nice, simple pictures, that really helps a lot too. Be conventional. Believe it or not, Your web application might be the most amazing, brand new thing in the world, but conventions are there for a reason. If I'm in a foreign country and I'm looking for the women's bathroom, I can't understand the language, I see that and I know that that's probably talking to me. Behind that sign is probably a women's bathroom somewhere. And I don't even wear a dress. I'm not even a dress-wearing kind of girl. If something in your application is clickable, make it look clickable. It's not terrible. It's a convention that people understand. If it's a link, make it look like a link. It doesn't mean you have to make your icons look exactly the same as everybody else's. You can style them in line with your typography and all the rest of it. But if it's a convention people understand, don't be afraid to use it. What is it we're designing again? A web application. While I was planning what to say for this talk, I stood next to somebody, or sat next to somebody even, who was using some kind of web application, and I listened to them using it. I say listened because all I could hear was swearing and fuck and why isn't it working and oh no, not another new window and stuff. It was ridiculous. So I looked over at the application, and there it was with rounded corners and a wood panel effect and all of that stuff, and the graphic designer had really, really cared about it and really just, gone to town with it. But at the end of the day, it was completely unusable. Don't forget what it is you're designing. You can put a lot of character in there, but don't forget what you're actually designing as an application. You might be the person that just designs things in Photoshop and hands it to a developer, or you might be the person that actually designs and builds the whole thing. But whatever happens, once you've designed it, don't think your job's over until you've actually seen it working in code. Because things that you design in Photoshop don't always look exactly the same when you see them in the browser. Wait until you've seen how big your headings are. Maybe they're too big, or maybe your copy that you thought was about the right length is too long. Don't give up on your design process just because you've handed it over to be developed. Remember who you are as well. Your application is an application, but it's a lot of other things too. It's a homepage, and it's the emails from customer services, and it's the FAQ. It's all of those kinds of things. And you're trying to get people to like you and your application. You're trying to get them to feel passionate about it and actually care about it. So don't forget, make sure that everything is consistent and people know which you it is that they're trying to like. If you're a smart, speedy, super fast shareholding or bank type application, don't send emails out from customer services going, hey, it's really sunny and I'm your best friend and all that kind of stuff, because people will think you're insane. Once you've launched your application, it is quite tempting to just go, whoa, we've launched, let's run away and have tea or beer. But don't forget it. Don't just launch it and then run away. Because those bug-fixing reports and all the customer service emails and all of that kind of stuff, they're talking to you as well. If it looks like people aren't understanding your process and you're getting emails about it, then maybe it's time to have a look at it again and change it slightly and tweak it and adapt it. This is the web. You can change things. Nobody ever minded anybody changing something to make it better. The good thing is, if people are writing in and saying, we don't quite get it, then they're obviously engaging with it in the first place to care enough to actually send you the email. So that's a good start. And after a while, you might even get emails to customer services saying, we really like your site, we really like the design, because believe it or not, it does actually happen. So there we go. That's giving your web app a little bit of character. Thank you.
All right, thank you.